Good afternoon, all. As you all know, my name is Bichavendi Chidevere, and you're welcome to this YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about my life as a teacher. It has really taught me a lot. So I've passed information to people, and people has passed information to me. So today I want to talk about um, pupils and as well as teachers in return. I have been a teacher for more than 12 years now, though that was not what I read in school. Now, that will tell you that 80% of people teaching, did I say 80? More than 80% of the people found in teaching profession are not actually doing that because that is what they wanted to do, but because of one situation or the other, they tilted back to teaching. So today I want to talk about my life as a teacher. One striking thing that we should know right now is that teachers in this contemporary country spend more time with the children more than the parents. So that means that the teachers need to be seasoned well because they are preparing the future leaders of the tomorrow. And if they don't have the necessary qualities that they have imparting these children, it means that these children will be a menace to the society, because one bad child is a problem to the society, because at the end of the day they have to give back to the society what they have taken in, because that is how everything that goes around comes around. So talking about my life as a teacher, I started teaching when I graduated from secondary school. That was back then in 2008. Well, it was an interesting episode because I started teaching having no knowledge of what teaching is all about, but I love it. In fact, I started teaching because I like teaching. It was not what I intended to do, but somehow I found myself in the teaching profession, and I loving it. Now, something happened during my days as a teacher. When I used to be a regular teacher in a school, there was one scenario that it has never left my mind, because I thought about these children, and I say that most times they suffer in the hands of the teachers just because of learning purposes. Now, what happened was, at school, we normally classes starts by 8 o'clock. Of course, we have to be in school before 7:30 because that is when assembly starts. And then after assembly, we head straight to the class, and we are in class till 4 o'clock, 4:30. That is on daily basis. Now, come to think of it, the active period of a child, is 8 hours in a day, or let's say like 12 hours in a day. And just from that 7 o'clock, or let's say 7 o'clock to 4 o'clock, how many hours have we spent in school? So the remaining hours are the hours of retiring. So after those time spent in school, the parents had little time to spend with them. And then when you have weekend, that is the proper time for parents to spend. But there is no time for parents for their children because they are busy working. Most times they subject them into the hands of tutors who come to their homes to teach them, or sometimes they go to the places of their learning. Now, what do I want to talk about? I was talking about a striking event that happened in school. Like I told you, we start schooling from 7:30, that is assembly, and then we span till 4:30. So one parent approached me, because we have a rule in the school that when school closes by 4:30, if you don't pick your child by 5 o'clock, you pay a fine of 500 naira. So the parent, looking at the scenario, he said, thinking like a Nigerian, probably an able person, I don't want to spend my time, because if you calculate 500 times, let's say probably 25 days we have in a month, we have 30 days, but I'm just excluding the weekends. Okay, let's say we have 20 days. So if you calculate 20 times 500, that will give you 10,000 naira. So the parent approached me and asked me, I want you to be teaching my child after school. Do you know what that means? No. Just think about it. The child has spent 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. The child spent a whopping 9 hours in class, 9 hours in school, and the parents still want me to teach the child. Teach the child what? At that particular point in time, I think the child needs rest more than any other thing you think of, not imparting knowledge at that particular point in time. So the parent approached me and asked me, I want you to teach my child. The reason for the teaching is not because she is interested in the child learning, but she just wants me to do a nanny job while she goes about her duty, so that she won't pay 10,000 naira for nothing. So she can afford to pay me 6,000 or 5,000 a month, or probably 7,000 or 8,000 a month. She's getting something because she assumed the child should be learning from me. And I told the parents, say, the money you talked about is very good, and probably I'll be the person that will earn the money, and then it will solve one or two of my problems. But the money is not everything. I thought about the child. The child you want me to teach is tired. The child has spent quality time in school, and the child must have been impacted. At that point, what the child needs is not teaching. What the child needs is rest. So that is what I should give the child. But if you want me to do a nanny job, I wouldn't mind. I will stay with the child. So it will be as if we're having lesson. But I have to tell you, we are not doing anything that has to do with academics. We can play, we can chat, we can talk while we wait for you. The parents said no. I said, you see, because these children, because they are young and they can't say what they want, and because they think you're an adult, you subject them into what you want them to do. And that child is suffering. To you, you think, I'm spending a lot of money to teach you, I'm spending a lot of money to send you in school. But no, you are not doing it. You are killing the child. Because we heard that Jack, how do we say it now? How do we say it then? How do we say it? Okay, I'm not talking about Jack of all trade. I'm talking about all play, all works and no play make Jack a dull boy. When we look at it, we think we are talking jargon, but it's not. Play is a part of learning. I say it again, play is part of learning. That's why I can categorically tell you that during my time in school, we don't spend every time we have inside the classroom learning one or two things. Sometimes I have to move them away from the classroom. We go outside, we want to talk about nature. Why are we supposed to be talking about nature in the class? We need to go out and rehearse with the environment. That is what that's what a teacher should do. It's not just sitting in a particular environment, talking. Sometimes you need to play with those child. That's why most times I see schools, they learn from morning till evening, and there is no break period. Some people who can afford break period is the time for them to have their lunch, and there is no rest. I laugh in Japan. Why? It will definitely give you a diminishing return. When a child rests, his brain is opened to accept, to receive. But when there is no play, the child is not free. So that's why some schools, they don't even have break period. Some schools, they will have their break period like 10 minutes break. That's nonsense. During my time as a student, as a pupil, we have break time for 1 hour. And it has never, I repeat, it has never made us less intelligent than others. I must comment, there was one parent I want to talk about. We have lesson hours in school, like our school. We start school by 8 o'clock and sometimes we end by 2 o'clock. And this parent will tell you, my child is ending by 2 o'clock. I'm coming to pick the child by 2 o'clock. And school will say, no, even if you're picking the child by 2 o'clock, you must pay for the lesson. He said, no problem, I will pay for the lesson, but my child is coming home by 2:30. Why? That parent wants to spend ample time with the child, because that is their window period. Their brain is open to accept what you have to pass in. And I don't know the quality of teachers we have in school these days to be able to handle such a child, to be able to handle such a responsibility. These teachers we are talking about are people who are frustrated because they don't have any other job. They now find themselves in the school. These are the kind of teachers that will flog a child to death. These are the kind of teachers that after flogging the child will be like, what has this innocent child done to you to deserve this kind of flogging? Because they are not trained. Most of them, they transfer aggression because their husband provoked them at home. They will now bounce upon a child that is innocent and flog the hell out of the child. Not because of what the child has done, but because there is baggages. There are baggages that teacher is carrying. So teachers and this parent that do take the child home by 2 o'clock, I must tell you, that child is taking third position. You can't find the child from 1 to 5. The child must be there. And those people who spend all their time in school, hours spent in school doesn't guarantee that a child will be intelligent. There is something called impartation. There is something called impact. You can teach a child for a few minutes and the child has grasped what we are talking about. I know repetition is important. I know you have to keep repeating. But when done properly, it yields good results. But when done inappropriately, it doesn't do well. Now, why teaching these young people? I understood something about repetition. Repetition is vital, yes, when we are talking about teaching younger people. But there is something it does. I remember there's a literature we used to read. There is this literature we used to read. So this literature, there are child in my class, I know that they are not intelligent to read everything that is written in the literature. But at a point, I found them reading everything in the literature. It's a small novel, yeah. I'm talking about people in pupils in primary 3. It's a small novel. It's a small novel. So I found that they can read from chapter 1 to chapter 5. Yeah, it was funny, but it's real. So at a point, I paid attention to why the child was reading. So the child is still on page 3, but the child is reading what is on page 10. What happened? They've crammed the whole literature. Cramming is not what we are teaching our children. We are teaching our children to learn. That's why you pick a child who is done with primary school, because you have imbibed this culture of repetition without proper nurturing. Now, the child, CUP, cup, yes, that's nice, that's beautiful. APPLE, apple, that's beautiful. This child memorizes all these things you do teach them. And then you are doing 3-letter words. Yes, I know. And the way you teach them these 3-letter words, they can only pronounce the 3-letter words you've taught them. If they're not able to pronounce 3-letter word outside what you've taught them, knowledge has not taken place. What they've finally done is that they've crammed what you've taught them. So maybe in the subsequent videos, we talk about teaching methodology. We talk about how to impact knowledge. I'm here to talk about. Now, if teachers don't go into study and see a better way to impact these children, at the end of the day, the academic level of our country will keep degrading. Thank you very much. And see you in the next video. Well, I have to close by saying this. Teaching profession is a noble profession. Teaching is lovely and beautiful. Teaching is good when properly done. I enjoy my pupils and most times I miss them. I want to spend time with them. They make noise, they disturb you. There are still better ways to punish a child rather than flogging. There are still better ways to punish a child rather than abusing them. If you raise them with an abusive word, what do you think they are going to do with people that are coming under them? Our generation being a better place starts with you as a teacher. Our generation being a better place starts with you as a teacher. You can only teach what you have. So why not go in, learn, practice, and become a better teacher? Thank you very much. See you in the next video. I'm glad to have a little time with you. Now, with the way our country is going, if you've gone through school and you don't have a skill, seriously, you will probably need to go back to school again. Skill is vital. That's why I will commend this school. And I know I've been to some of the schools that pay attention to skill acquisition. But I would like you to look at this school. They pick out time. Now, there is something striking about this school. I talked about the time we spend in school. I talked about diversity in school. This school, they've given ample time to skill acquisition. That they come to school, They study to some extent, and then they will give the children opportunity to make choice of the skill they want to acquire. Now, they have people they are training on how to trim hair. They have people they train on how to sew clothes, in music, making bead, knitting, and even plaiting of hairs and then making ribbons. So they take out time to expose these children, and now they are not just doing that, they are still into computer, where they teach children coding and they teach children how to write codes, computer training, so that when these children, I'm not talking about secondary school, I'm talking about a primary school. Imagine, I'll show you the video. You see where a primary school pupil is doing a clean haircut on another pupil, where a primary school pupil is plaiting someone's hair, and a primary school pupil is sewing clothes. So imagine that. Just take a look at the video. You tell me. Okay, I will have to mention the name of the school because I'm not trying to blow their trumpet, but it's what they're blowing. So I'm talking about St. Paul's International School of Nnewi. So just take a look at the video, and then you see what these pupils were able to do right in primary school. So imagine when someone must have come to vocational school, like we see in the previous video, where so you don't need to go to university for you to start doing one of the things you like to do. There are schools scattered everywhere that will give you the university only gives you a certificate. Most times it doesn't even give you the exposure you need. So take a look at this school, and then you drop what you have to say on the comment section. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.
Primary school and that going to St. Paul's model. Ya do guy na one had a job. Just one of the job. And ya do kwase ganya na St. Paul's College na ebido na September. Omo na nwa gi na aba JS1. Kwa ino nweku ugwu bia gbalo form. Register ya ka ogu be ba. Chineke mebula ya ebele ai nwete scholarship ndị Igbo group nọ n'Amerika. Ha kwete na higher secondary school.
Hello everyone, welcome to Bichaben Deborah TV. In case you're joining us for the first time, here is where we talk about the trending news in our community, in our society at large, and here you get information on sports and entertainment, and as well as educational system. So here we get information to you that is going to make your life better and also make the life of the people around you better, and see how well to live and save, and see how well to build up yourself. And then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much.